Welcome to a story that exposes the raw truth of power and accountability. This is where arrogance collides with rights, and where authority faces resistance. Our scene begins outside police headquarters, where a lawful auditor stands tall, camera in hand, recording what the public pays for, when suddenly an inspector storms in like a soldier spotting a crime. But there is no crime, only fear, only bluffs, and only empty threats. He throws out laws that do not exist, backed by officers eager to intimidate, but the auditor refuses to fold. He pushes back.
Well, first of all, could you actually identify yourself properly for me?
Yeah, of course. My name's Inspector Simon Barden. I'm one of the duty inspectors up in our force.
Inspector?
Simon Barden.
Simon Barden, okay.
So I work in the Force Contact Control Room, so I'm just wondering why you're stood on our property filming into...
No, I'm stood on public property.
Okay.
So let's verify that.
But you're filming into private property?
Makes no difference.
It does.
Why is that? What law am I breaking?
Because you're filming private property and you haven't...
It makes no difference.
Well, it does. You can't film into private property.
Yes, I can.
Okay, under what law?
Okay. The law is I can film whatever I can see in public.
Said Inspector demands answers, as if the public must justify their rights. He asks why the camera is rolling, why the building is being filmed, and under what law it is allowed. Yet the law is crystal clear. Filming in public is lawful. Filming government buildings from a public space is untouchable under Article 10, Human Rights. The inspector should know this, yet he does not. Instead of leading by knowledge, he stumbles into ignorance. Instead of upholding the law, he exposes his weakness. The auditor fires back calmly, proving that rights need...
I'm
not putting anyone's security at risk.
But you could be, couldn't you?
No, that's a presumption, okay? I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, it's not a presumption, because I said you could. I didn't say you were, okay. I said you could be. So that's not a presumption, that's me suggesting that you could be.
Okay, and how would I be putting their safety at risk then?
So what are you doing with those films?
Well, it's for personal use.
Okay. What personal use? Are you going to be sharing those online?
I don't know. Whatever personal use I wish.
Okay. So what is the purpose of you being here today, would be my question.
The police is a public service.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm here to actually record what the public pay for.
Okay, but this isn't the police station, this is police headquarters.
It makes no difference. The public still pay for it.
Okay, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve though, because if you want to make sure...
I'm not trying to achieve anything, I'm just filming what the public pay for.
Okay, but if you're trying to prove that the public are paying and getting value for service, surely you'd be better...
I didn't say that, I didn't say that at all.
So what did you say?
Okay, I said I'm just here to film what the public pay for, that's it.
Okay, for what reason?
My own reason.
But weakness cannot admit defeat, so the inspector shifts the argument from law to fear. He claims staff security is at risk because they are being filmed, yet that is not suspicion, it is presumption, a hollow excuse with no foundation. Security cannot be defined by feelings, it must be defined by facts, and there were none here. The camera posed no danger, the filming broke no rule. Still, the inspector presses, trying to force guilt where none exists, but the auditor stands firm, refusing to bow to feelings disguised as...
I feel like I've come down to have a conversation with you and engage with you, and
yeah,
you're not particularly willing to engage.
Yeah, but that conversation is irrelevant, okay? That's called fishing for information.
It's not called fishing, it's called engaging with someone. It's called...
Yeah, I'll have a conversation about whatever you want, okay? But whether or not I've been here or not, or whether or not I'm actually filming, I'm just doing exactly what I'm perfectly lawfully allowed to do.
What my concern would be is that, do you pose a security threat?
Okay, your concern and what the law is are two different things.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, your feelings and what you feel is not the law. Okay, right. What I'm doing is perfectly lawful.
Not if you pose a security threat.
In what way? You still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
Okay, you still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
I don't need to answer. Else fishing begins. The inspector demands to know why the footage is being recorded, what purpose lies behind it, what personal use will serve, as if motives are required to exercise a right. But they are not. Rights are not granted by explanation. Rights are granted by law and protected by freedom. Asking for reasons is not investigation, it is control. It is an attempt to turn lawful action into suspicious behavior. Yet the auditor answers with strength, reminding them that no justification is required.
Bear with me a second.
Why are you filming here?
Because I'm well within my legal rights to do so.
But why?
It's a public service that the public pay for.
Have you a keen interest in the police?
Okay, I have an interest in all public services.
So you do this on a regular basis?
Okay? That's irrelevant.
Well, rather than filming us, why don't you ask us some questions and if
Well,
you're interested in the
well,
police,
first,
we can give you
well, first of all, okay, if I had been approached correctly, okay, then I would have, okay, but your inspector hadn't, okay. You've come out, you've made an allegation, okay, towards me.
An allegation.
No, you did. You made an allegation that your staff, okay, are alarmed and distressed, okay.
Yes,
You should know, as a constable, okay, you cannot be alarmed and distressed.
Any person can feel harassment, alarm and distress.
Not
Whether
when
it's
you're
under
an
the
officer.
course of your
It is
duty.
case law, and you cannot.
Let's have a back
You
and forth
cannot
conversation.
be.
But let me speak.
Okay.
Let me get my point across so you can get yours. Okay?
Okay? I can film whatever the eye can see, sir.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying. Okay, you've just said what you want, so let me speak. Okay, members of staff leaving this building, this facility, in their plain clothes, in their own car, you filming them has caused them alarm, harassment and distress.
Constables arrive eager to back their inspector, but they bring no wisdom, only repetition. They claim that staff in plain clothes are alarmed and distressed. By the camera they claim that being filmed while leaving headquarters is enough to justify police action, but the law says otherwise. Officers, by nature of their role, face greater scrutiny. They cannot claim distress when fulfilling duties linked to public accountability. Plainclothes or uniform, it makes no difference. They are still police, they are still public servants, and they cannot
This property, okay, I can film.
It doesn't matter. When we book off our system off duty, we're off duty. However, what
Okay.
we are going to clarify is whether what you're standing on is private land. So
It's publicly accessible.
No.
It's publicly accessible under Section 33 of the Criminal
We're
Justice
going to
Act.
find out whether
okay?
this part that you're standing on is private.
But then if you can show me the actual signs that state private property along there, okay, no public access, then fine, I will move on. Okay, but there are no
We've
signs,
given you our
and it's
details.
publicly
And
accessible.
What is your name, young man?
It's irrelevant.
You've clearly come here for an argument.
No, I haven't.
What
No, I
is the purpose
haven't.
of being here then?
Because I want to film.
Film what? Film what?
Okay, what the public
Film
pay
us
for.
leaving the building.
No, I'm filming what I can see.
What
Okay,
you're doing is you're filming people leaving in their personal vehicles.
That's
Okay?
not exciting.
And-
That's a security threat.
no, how is that a security
You've got their
threat?
registration.
That's a presumption.
Do you not see what happens in the world?
That's a presumption.
You're not seeing what's happening in the world.
Okay, yeah, but that is a presumption, okay?
not a presumption.
And where you just said, okay, about to do with license plates, okay? License plates are in the public domain, okay? You guys have
But
access
you're-
to
what
that
you're doing is you're
information.
putting that on YouTube and you're specifically...
Who said that? Who
You're-
said that? Whoa. Hang on a minute.
filming it,
Whoa,
you're gonna
hang
put
on.
it in the public
Hang on. No.
domain. Listen to me, and
You
heard-
said that. I haven't
Listen to
said
me,
it.
let-
No,
I'm-
don't
listen,
shout at me.
Listen to me. I'm
Do
trying
not
to
shout
talk,
at me.
you're
No,
talking
no,
over
don't
me.
shout at me.
So let me have my piece.
Please do not shout
Let me
at
have
me.
my piece then.
Yeah, as long as you don't.
with no loss to stand on. The officers fall back on the word security again. They argue that filming number plates of staff cars is a threat, but the auditor crushes that with a single truth. License plates are public by design, visible to anyone walking the streets. Every plate is in the public domain, and the only ones with access to personal data behind them. And the police themselves framing this as a threat is not policing, it is paranoia, it is fear-dressed authority, and it is a tactic that collapses.
Film public property, okay, and a public service that the public pay for, okay. I'm doing a completely lawful activity, okay. I'm breaking no law, I'm committing no crime, right, and I should carry on about my business, okay. If you decide that you want to harass me, then you carry on and do that, sir.
The issue you have...
Could you step back a
is
little
that
bit,
what
please?
you're doing is you're causing our colleagues harassment,
Would you mind
alarm and
stepping
distress.
back a little bit,
okay?
please?
You're causing our colleagues harassment,
Would you
alarm
mind
and
stepping
distress.
back a little bit, please?
Okay. Why don't you
Okay?
step back
Right.
further over there to
No,
the pavement
because
over
I
there?
moved to here and you came to me. Okay?
I'll come
Just
to you,
because you're
because it's
I
strange,
moved
and
from
I'm
there
asking you
to
why
here,
you're filming,
and you
why you're
walked to
filming.
me.
I'm asking
okay?
you why you're
If
filming.
you don't want to be that close to someone,
I'm asking
then
you
don't
why
walk
you're
up to
filming.
them that way.
Listen
Yeah?
to me for a minute.
Okay?
Why-
If you ask your colleague to step back, I will talk with you.
Perfectly he's
No, he's
not
walked right the way up.
He's
Now,
not-
this is me
he's not in
feeling
your
alarmed
personal
and
distance.
distressed.
He's not in your personal
Okay?
space.
Yes, he is. Okay? He's well within an arm's reach.
Don't
okay?
touch me.
I didn't touch.
Frustration grows. The officers abandon professionalism and lean into intimidation. One steps into the auditor's personal space, crowding him with physical presence, not law. He warns him not to touch, even though no touch occurred. This is not safety, this is bait. It is a trap designed to twist contact into assault. It is a tactic of desperation, not discipline. Trained officers know to de-escalate, yet here they escalate, showing their intent is not to keep the peace.
Right, I did not touch you.
Don't touch me.
Okay?
Touch me and you get
I
arrested
did
for
not
assault.
touch you.
Okay?
You need to be quiet on that one. Okay? Don't tell me I touched you when I did not touch
Don't
you.
touch me,
I
or
did
you'll
not
be
touch
arrested
you.
for
It's all
assault.
on camera.
Do you
Okay?
understand?
I did not touch you. Don't
Don't
tell me
reach
do I
forward.
understand.
Try and touch me.
Okay? Do not tell me. Okay? Right? He's got a real attitude problem. Yes, he has.
You're not listening.
If you'd like to talk to me for a second, that'd
Yeah,
be
that's
great.
fine.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify some things. You're right, this is a public area. You are entitled to film here. However, your behaviour is causing our staff harassment, alarm and distress.
Who's that then?
So we've had members of our staff complaining about you, filming them, leaving the premises, and that is causing them harassment, alarm and distress.
As a police officer or police officer, they cannot be the victim of being alarmed and distressed. No, they cannot. You need to actually look at that. It is case law and it is there.
Sir, listen to me. Yes, they can.
No, they cannot.
Yes, they can. So as such,
Okay.
under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act 2002, I'm going to ask you to provide me your details,
Okay,
your name
right.
and address.
Now, I will
Hang on.
actually state this, okay? Under Section 50,
Yep.
okay, the Police Reform Act,
Yep.
okay, there has to be a member of the public within 150 metres of me.
No, they
okay?
doesn't.
Yes, they
No,
do.
they doesn't,
okay?
'cause the
Right, you
legislation-
will not be
the-
getting
the-
my
the-
details.
So if you refuse to provide those
Okay.
details, you're liable to be arrested.
You will not get my details. I'll tell you that straight because
That's
I've
fine.
done nothing wrong.
That's fine. I'm going to ask you again. You have.
Okay.
You've caused our staff harassment, alarm, distress.
And I'm going to tell you no.
There is concern around your behaviour and how it's making our staff feel.
And I'm gonna
so
tell you
make
no.
that request from you to provide me with your name
And I'm
address.
going to tell you no because I've done nothing wrong.
You're under arrest.
Okay, right. Hang on. Just before you do, would you mind just reading?
Arguments fail, they reach for Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, twisting it into a weapon of compliance. The inspector declares that the auditor has caused harassment, alarm and distress to staff, and therefore must provide his details, but Section 50 requires real antisocial behavior against members of the public, and there were none present. The auditor points this out, yet the inspector ignores the truth. When the auditor refuses to surrender his details, the inspector crosses the line. He orders the arrest not for a
Okay, that got turned down,
Who's that
and
then?
we now have a court date for the end of February, so I will keep you updated on that, Pete. So, as you know, I gave you an update on Inspector Barton, and where it should have actually gone to court at the end of
Now, I
last
will actually
month,
state this, okay? Under
and
Section
basically
50,
things
okay,
have
the police
sort
reform
of been
act,
delayed,
there has
so
to be a
I'm now
member of the
waiting
public
for
within
another
150
date
metres of me.
for
Okay,
that, and
yes,
it's
they-
arrest is not law, it is punishment. It is authority lashing out at defiance. Section 50 was never meant to be used this way. It was not designed to silence citizens or criminalize cameras. It was created to address genuine antisocial behavior. But here it was weaponized against accountability. The inspector denied the requirement for members of the public to be present, showing ignorance or willful abuse, and with that he confirmed the real crime, the misuse of power by those who swore to uphold it.